guys, how's it going? It's already been an exciting morning. You can see right behind me, we just received 6 beautiful, impressively tall autumn blaze maples. And these are meant for the area that Paul and Aaron prepped yesterday that we showed you where they dug all the holes. And it's meant to just continue on the lane, the grass-lined lane dotted with maple trees. I think it's going to be very pretty. And while these are not as wide as our more established trees, the height, I think we're going to be pretty dang close to the height that the other ones are. Close-ish. Look at these things. I'm not going to walk out here because it is a slick, muddy mess. And my shoes, for at least the time being, are clean. And I'm actually fixing to go to the garden center right now to pick up another load of plants that just arrived for us. But these grow roughly like 50 to 60 feet tall, 40-ish feet wide, bright red in the fall, and they just are a nice looking tree. So the goal is to get those planted, and we will show you that whole process. We've kind of refined the process. In fact, having the bobcat with the pinchers is a game changer because you can see these are B&B. They're balled and burlap, and they've got a big metal cage around them. And while a lot of people can leave that cage on in more wet climates, we cannot, because it does not rust out and leave. And I know this because the great big blue spruce tree that we had fall down right next to the Persephone garden, it was huge. I don't even know how tall it was, probably 35 plus feet tall. It was a gorgeous tree, but when it fell down, you could still see the metal basket underneath its root ball, plus a bunch of twine, which is not good. But anyway, for however many years it sat there, it never left. So what we like to do is pinch the root ball, lift it up. We cut the bottom of the wire basket off, and then one of the sides, set it down in the hole, and then we can take the whole basket off from around the root ball so it's free in its hole. Anyway, we'll show you that whole process. But like I said, I'm heading down to the garden center because they just got in a huge load from Schmidt's yesterday. When we went down yesterday afternoon, and we did pick out a beautiful Catalpa tree called Strawberry Moon. And then right after we left, they got a load in from Bountiful Farms, which has a bunch of arborvitaes and some more Julia Child tree roses for around the Hartley area. So anyway, we're gonna head down there. I'll show you. Of course, nothing has leaves on it yet, so it's not nearly as, I guess, I don't want to use the word impressive because it's still impressive, but it's not as impactful when you don't have leaves on it. But I will show you what they've got. We're gonna load up our stuff and bring it back here. And once we've got it here, I will probably start in with some more garden cleanup. I need to cut back our lavender hedge in front of the raised bed garden. I need to clean out some raised beds. We're going to be staining the fence around that later this week. So anyway, yeah, lots going on. It's so exciting. I'm feeling that spring excitement and that sense, like that urgency. It's kind of an urgency energy feeling. I love it. So let's go. Okay, we have arrived, and I'm seeing remnants of all of the loads that came yesterday. Boy, they were busy. I'm excited to see our things. You might remember when we were here the other day, but there's a whole bunch of miniature trees like the Nectar Babe nectarine. There's some miniature peach trees. Japanese maples we always like to put under cover just in case, just for the first little bit. There's more Arctic Babe miniature nectarines. And then look at this. Look at this area back here. Holy moly, it's just filling in so quickly. Oh, there's Monica over there racing around with the hose. And I see a bunch of shrubs. I see some Proof of Winters cans over here, some evergreens over here. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good.
Nice.
Except I just shot the hose right down into my shoe.
Oh, that's the worst. Yes. First thing in the morning. Do you bring extra socks?
No.
Ah.
I usually keep some in my purse.
Really?
Yes.
Sad. That looks like my Julia Child's right there.
Oh, I have 3 inch marks on.
Oh, you do?
But of course, take whichever ones you like.
Oh, I don't care.
The only
That's
things
fine.
that did not come are some spring growths.
Okay.
The biggest ones came.
Okay.
But the 10 that were the size down.
Oh. Okay. Did we get some North Poles too?
Yes, all the North Poles came.
Okay.
Everything else came.
Perfect.
But we
well,
were like searching and searching and searching in those other things.
Where is everything? Like, is it the things over there?
Red ribbons, so like that palette over there.
Okay.
I've got these 3 marked. I've got
Okay.
that North Pole right there. And then
Oh, okay.
a whole palette over there.
Okay.
So they are all around.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go get a forklift then. I think I'm gonna need one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys. So right over here, these are pretty Troutman junipers.
That was pretty.
And these are the Julia Child roses.
Look how big they are.
They're huge and gorgeous. So my plan is to repeat 2 on the other side of the Hartley. You know, we've got the 2 near the brick patio, and I thought it would bring some cohesion and it would be beautiful to have a couple more. But I ordered 3 so I can plant 1 extra out somewhere in a random spot in case I lose one. That's the only problem with formal gardens, that if you've got such a design, like a very set design, if you lose one of anything, it just kind of throws it off. So it's always good to plan for the eventual loss of one, because that's gardening. But we've got the North Pole arborvitae right here, which we've got some holes to fill. And then we've got these B&B spring groves back there. So it's these, those, the two North Poles there, that one, and then the roses. Okay, I think I know what I need to gather up, but I'm gonna need a forklift, and I'm just gonna try to do this quick because I've parked in an area that they're gonna need in like 20 minutes. So we'll do our best. And there's Mom. She's watering some things too.
Everybody's just doing what they can do.
Yep, rolling around, just getting it done.
Yeah, did you see your new thing?
I did, yes.
Yes.
So I'm over here with a trailer,
Okay,
but I'm gonna have to unearth a bunch of stuff.
yes.
Okay.
So once you get one,
Okay,
one can help you and he can help you get it loaded.
okay, because
And
I
he can
parked.
back the trailer as well.
Okay,
He could back it up right in there.
I'm gonna try to find Juan and see if he'll back the truck and trailer right back here, so it's right and handy. Juan, bless his heart, he's always so helpful. I cannot back a trailer up to save my life. I have no practice doing it, so anyway, he's much better. I would have that thing so jackknifed.
Oh,
I
wouldn't even attempt it.
It would be embarrassing. We're almost done, but the arborvitae way back there, I have to move every single pallet out of the way to get to it. It's gonna take me a minute. All right, guys, here's our load. We got it all strapped in. Everything should be fine. In fact, these are so heavy and so kind of stuck on the pallet, I don't think they'd go anywhere anyway, but straps there just in case. So we've got the Spring Grove arborvitae, we've got a whole bunch of North Poles, the Catalpa, which I'll show you the tag when we get home, and then the 3 Julia Child tree roses that are so pretty. That ended up being quite the event to get everything unearthed from this huge pile. But I think what we'll do is come back and maybe do a tour when things start to leaf out and bloom. There are some really, really beautiful things in here. Tons of dogwoods, tons of fruit trees too. Lots of crab apples, maples, serviceberry. Boy, you name it, it's probably out here. And this is the time of year where I always feel the urge to plant more fruit trees, even though we don't need more fruit trees. But look at those miniatures and I think, maybe we could put more of those around in pots. But not today. Let's get this stuff home. Okay, we are back home. Our plan for the moment is just to unload them probably right in this area because we've got water close by. We're already in the rhythm of watering things back here. So that's what the guys are gonna do here, probably when they're done planting the trees. But I did want to show you real quick before we move on to something else, this beautiful strawberry moon Catalpa. Look at that. So, you know, we have the El Nino Catalpa, and it's more like a small tree, 10 to 15 feet tall. This one grows 40 feet tall, 35 feet wide. It is a zone 6, so we're going to see how it does. It should do okay. It says reduced fruit set and smaller leaves than those of the northern catalpa. Large clusters of rich pink-purple flowers crown the canopy of this unique hybrid in early summer. And the fall color is yellow. Now, I don't know if the blooms on this type of catalpa smell like the blooms of the El Nino. If that is the case, then we are in for a huge treat because they smell so good. What do you think, Aaron?
I love it.
You love it? You think it's good too, bud?
I feel like these will be good to put in between some of the bigger evergreens.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll grow quickly.
Right.
And they'll fill in some of that dead space.
Right.
In between.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that'll be perfect. And then the North Poles, I don't know how many there are.
They look great.
They do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 maybe, or 13, 14. I don't know. 12 to 15, we'll go that route. We've got to fill in some behind the greenhouse where we had originally planted a little hedge. And then I'll show you the other spot right in front of the greenhouse when we move up that direction where one of these North Poles is going to go. And we need to replace one along the, right?
Yeah.
Along the hedge by our dumpster sort of area.
Hopefully it takes.
Oh, geez. Every time it dies. How many have we planted right there?
Like 4.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so now I need to regroup, gather all of my supplies up, and we'll head out into the garden to get a little work done. All right, guys, I think we've got everything we need to complete our projects this afternoon. Now, they are still roofing the house next door that they're building, so the air compressor is running, and it's quite loud. Hopefully, it's not super loud in the audio. I'm sorry if it is. But I wanted to start right here to show you where one of the North Pole arborvitaes is going, and we need to clean out these pots. Look at these. Shame. I never usually leave containers looking like this for as long as I have. I guess, haven't cared as much this year. But I did put some Niagara Falls panicum, which is a wonderful perennial grass that I love, and some echinacea around the grass, and then the rest of it's annuals. So we'll clean out the annuals. Boy, did that air compressor just like rev up? It sounded like it did. My word. My goodness. Anyway, we're going to dig these perennials and grasses out. We're going to go replant them somewhere else, clean the pots out, and we're going to cut back this lavender hedge, which is kind of in the same area. So we'll have the same ambiance. Here it is, the Sweet Romance lavender hedge that's been so beautiful in front of this raised bed garden. It's been an ideal plant because you can see that it is exposed. It gets full sun, it gets all the heat. It's planted in gravel, and this plant, or these plants rather, just love their life and perform their heads off. They've been beautiful. And I like the size of the Sweet Romance because you can see here, they've actually expanded. Like if you get in here, like this is another plant right here that's rooted. And so like the original plants that I've put in here, they stay rather compact, but then they will eventually like kind of seed them. I don't know if they're seeding themselves around or if this was a branch that just got pushed down and it rooted in, but they've kind of, spread out a little bit, which I also love. But there are so many lavenders out there that are all beautiful, but so many of them get huge. And I knew in this space I couldn't afford that size because it's a little bit narrow. I mean, our lane comes right through here and we park our trucks here, but I didn't want lavender that grew, 3 feet and grew way out into where the lane was. So it's been a wonderful plant. And you can see that we did not trim it down last fall. We typically clean it up in the fall. In fact, I treat my lavender differently than most guides will tell you to treat lavender, in that I like to cut mine all the way back, like really close to the ground like I do most perennials, so that it does not create a woody base. Lavender will want to create that woody base, and if that happens, then you can't or you shouldn't cut into it because it's risky to the plant. So if you, though, continually cut it back to the ground and don't let it form up that woody base, then it usually flushes back fresh and beautiful, and it tends to look just better to me. When lavender gets that real scraggly looking woody base, it just makes the plant look a little bit messier, and then the plant almost gets a little bit bigger because it denies you the ability to cut it all the way back. But I'm looking forward to getting this cut back today. I mean, if we get in here, some of them still have some really nice looking growth, but the branches themselves, while it's like woody-ish down here, it's not super hardwood. And there's new buds already budding out down here. So I'll probably leave it 4 or so inches tall. And then we'll just get to watch it fill back in afresh and look like a brand new plant. One of my favorite things is from the other side. Like as you come into the vegetable garden, it pops through and there's little lavender flowers along this walkway, and I just love it. Our bachelor's buttons are looking a little sad. We need to pull those out. And our beans and celery from last year, our carrots from last year looking a little flat. My goodness. Wonder if I could even Oh no, that's not wanting to come out. Oh, there's a few. I didn't thin these carrots, so they're probably pretty small. I planted these late too, as opposed to this bed. Pretty nice still, even though the foliage looks like junk. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, look at that carrot. I planted these last spring and we've been able to harvest them through the winter. We just come out here. It was a little hard there for a little bit when it was really frozen, but if you can kind of get a digging fork in there and pry them up, they will pop up. And they're so good because when they're subjected to freezing temperatures, their sugars kind of enhance. They gather up in the tuber or the root right here, and they just make for a really tasty carrot. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Let's get these containers cleaned out and get the grasses and perennials out to the, I think the south garden is where I'm gonna put them. The echinacea, while I cannot remember the exact variety, they're kind of autumn colors. So I wanna put them in the little section where we've got some similar colors. My goodness, it's so loud out here today. All right, here we go. Well, there they are, all cleaned out. They're looking a heck of a lot better. My goodness. This one I will probably keep right here for now and plant it up just like I normally do. This one, you know, in the summertime, it's hard to see anyway because when the door swings open, which we have to keep them both open to keep it bearable inside, it blocks it. So I don't know, it's gonna be great having the North Pole there, and then we'll use that big pretty pot somewhere else. These came from Henry's studio many years ago. And here's our pile of plants. I think we've got like 9 or 10 echinacea and then 2 of the Niagara Falls. Let's go find spots for them. Bye, Douglas. Where'd Russell go? You know what? I think one of the Niagara Falls would be really beautiful right in here. We've got hollyhocks in this space and some baptisia. We've also got a barberry sitting here, a chokeberry, and then some other things, but we don't have any grassy texture until after our heptacodium shrub slash tree that's right there. Right here's perfect. Let's see what the digging is like. There was quite a bit of ice in the second pot that we cleared out. Like the bottom of the root ball of the grass was frozen. Kind of want it like tucked back here. Oh yeah, we can get in there, no problem. It feels so good to be out here planting again. I'm loving this so much. First one done. And there's the second one. This grass grows 4 feet tall by 4 feet wide. So it will kind of grow nicely over this hose faucet, and we usually have a hose link on top of it. So I think the hose link will actually be taller than the grass will get, but I think this will soften the look of the whole thing. And grasses are not hard to work around, especially if like it's barely going to kind of come over onto that area. They're nice and soft. They don't have thorns. Anyway, I think it's going to be really pretty right there. And I already scouted out the place for the echinacea they're going to fit in beautifully with other echinacea I already have over here. I've got the Cheyenne Sky, which they have kind of like oranges and reds and pinks kind of mixed in. And if I recall, like I said earlier, I think that they were kind of autumn colors or kind of more tropical warm colors. I think there's a couple of like warm pinks and then some orange in there too. I don't know exactly, but I think they'll work well. So this is the space where I had all those beautiful red dahlias, the ones from Proven Winners. Classy Carmine, I think is the name of them. And then the white salvia also had some bluebird nemesia and just a bunch of beautiful things out here. And then we've got the 4 echinacea sitting here. So I'm just gonna pop all the other ones just in this general area, probably a couple in front, a few behind, and then I'll carry on the drift. But I'm gonna move my gator over here. We're trying to avoid the grass because it's so soggy right now. I'm gonna move it over here where I can walk a shorter distance. Okay, well, it doesn't look like much, but we put them in. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yep, there were 10 in there. 10 echinacea added to this section. It's going to be really pretty. And Benjamin is spreading seeds. So he just learned what an echinacea seed looks like. So he's breaking up the seed heads and spreading them around in this area. Good job. Oh, I can't believe how much this space changes in just a matter of like 1 more month. It'll look way different. And then 1 more month after that, it'll look even better. Can't wait. All right, guys, let's go tackle that lavender hedge. The air compressor is off. They must be done for the day. Oh, it's so much more peaceful. And you guys, for this cutback chore, I'm using hedge trimmers because it's gonna make it so much quicker. So I'll whip it all down, we'll rake it up, we should be good to go. Okay, let me just show you a close-up. So there's like a before shot of the lavender. And there's the after. So we clean it up pretty hard, but it usually responds really nicely to that. And you can see like there's the original plant and here's another right here where it's kind of spread itself. There's another one right there. And I love it. It's perfect. This is the weirdest spot of our whole hedge though, because there's an electrical box. I think it's underneath the gravel right here. And I wasn't able to space them exactly correct. You can't tell when it's all grown up.
I found a teeny tiny itty bitty carrot.
That's so cute. I love that. You're gonna eat it?
Sure, let me try.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a taste test. 3, 2, 1. Boom! Oh, that dust.
Well, dude, you gotta clean it first. Okay, let's get this done. Well, there's one side done. Are you all done?
Yeah.
All right, so now we need to tackle this second side, which is larger, a little bit bigger than the first side. And that is because not last year, but the year before, we were having a drip irrigation issue that we were unaware of on this other side. It was all plugged and it was not watering. And even though lavender is a tough, drought-tolerant plant, it still needs water. When it's out in the middle of you know, what it is in currently. So we usually have the drip run to the lavender every 3 days. That's how often we water it. I think it runs for maybe like 30 minutes. I'd have to verify with Erin every 3 days, and it needs to be adjusted depending on where you're at and how much rainfall you get and all of those things, how much sun you get, how much cloud cover you get. But for us, every 3 days through the heat of summer keeps it really nice. But that 1 year, it just kind of made this side dwindle a little bit. It's recovering, and I hope it will recover to this size again. I'm sure it will. But let's do it. Not perfect, but better than it was. All right, we got it all done. It's looking so nice. Now, I didn't clean out all the raised beds because some of them still have ice in them. It's very hard to pull things out, but I did find some onions that I must have missed when I was harvesting last year. I also realized as I was finishing up the pruning of the second row of lavender, I forgot to turn my camera on, but the process looks the same as it did the first time. So sorry about that. Here's what it looks like all finished up. Oh, I just love it because I know what is soon to come here. Just so exciting. I cleaned the bachelor's buttons, at least the ones I could clean out of this bed. And this is where I found onions, and they feel good. Like, they are super firm and beautiful. They're small, but beautiful. This one's still frozen into the ground. I can't get that out. I mean, there's still ice right here. In fact, like some of these that you see still sticking out, you can see I tried really hard to pull it, but they're holding fast. So I'll have to do another cleanup, just a smaller one once it warms up a little bit. Same with the celery bed here. I did my best. It looks a lot better than it did with all that mangy growth on the top. But these were not having it. In fact, I think these would just pick up and continue growing this year. Whatever's left in here, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll leave them. And then when I was walking by, I just grabbed the peas. There were not very many. And I left the carrots for now, even though they look kind of bad. I left them for now because they will still continue to grow and form up this spring. But I am really, really happy with everything that was done today. While I was working on this, Paul, Erin, and Bethany, I think, got in on the planting too. Got all the trees done, which is what we'll leave you with so you can watch that happen. But they did remove the container that we cleared out and brought an arb over so we could take a look at it. Oh yeah. It's a much more pleasant shape than the one right next door to it. Maybe you should take that out and plant all new ones, but oh, that's gonna look good right there. And we just need to do some selective pruning, I think. Those have had quite a lot of snow load this winter. They usually rebound. These under here, you can see how they're looking, well, a lot more sparse because they're just in the shade from this tree a lot of the time. But they also get sprinkler water. And this is what our sprinkler water does to everything. It just hard water buildup. It turns everything white. So it's just these right here where we've got grass. But yeah, that's gonna look beautiful right there. We'll need to get it in the ground, give it a lot of biotone, and get it growing. And you guys, that is it for today's projects. I am so happy with everything that got done today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the new plants, the new life. I just love it. It is so awesome. And just chipping away at that garden cleanup. I hope that that's motivating, I guess, at the least. Watching that. I love watching cleanouts of any kind. Clean out or organizing or anything like that. It always is motivating to me. So I'm hopeful that our projects do that for you too. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the footage of Erin, Bethany, and Paul getting the trees in the ground. See you in the next one.